Hi, you're watching It's Food at Home, where Lisa invites guests into her kitchen as they enjoy good conversation, and you'll also learn a few recipes to make your own. Join them as they whip up food that's good for your soul and remind you that it's food at home.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and today on It's Food at Home, I have a very special guest I'm so excited about, my husband Martin. And I'm gonna cook one of his favorite dishes. I'm making lemon marinated chicken breast and garlic spinach orzo. And so I did my marinade overnight, and it's very simple, and you can actually use this marinade over a salad. So it's just a cup of olive oil. I used a half a cup of honey and a lot of fresh squeezed lemon juice, along with some oregano, a little salt and pepper. So I'm gonna take this chicken out of the marinade. If you're marinating anything in lemon juice, make sure if it's poultry that you don't marinate it more than 24 hours. So I'm just gonna take this out. And the thing I like about marinating chicken is that it makes it a lot more flavorful, but you still have to season it the next day, okay? Because once you take it out of the marinade, you don't want chicken that has like a fleshy taste to it. You might have flavor, but then you're not gonna have that oomph. So to give it a little extra kick, I am going to season it up with some lemon pepper, a little garlic powder. I love my lemon pepper seasoning. I can't get enough of it. I buy it in bulk. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on this side, and when I put it in the pan, then I'm gonna hit the other side. And I like to put a little garlic powder, a very fine granulated garlic powder. Like this one is nice and fluffy, so it's gonna really cling to it. And now I am going to get my oil hot. I'm just gonna coat the bottom of this pan. We're not deep frying, so I'm just gonna coat the bottom of this pan with grapeseed oil. And the reason why I'm using grapeseed oil is because it has a higher burn level. Okay. I'm gonna drop that chicken in. Ah, you hear that sizzle? I love that sound. And once I get it all in there, I'm gonna season the other side while it's in the pan. My chicken is all finished. It has a nice caramel glaze to it from the honey that it was marinated in. And I'm gonna get the lemon glaze going. So I'm just gonna pour right in the same pan some chicken broth. That's gonna be the basis for my glaze today. Just some chicken broth, and I'm gonna get this going, and it's gonna get nice and hot, and I'm gonna drop in a stick of butter, and I'm also gonna put a little garlic powder, a nice light fluffy garlic powder, okay? And the thing that's gonna make this chicken, lemon glaze sauce thicken up is some cornstarch. But we want to get this nice and hot. This has to actually be bubbling before we can add the cornstarch in. And then I'm going to also squeeze in a fresh lemon. I'm going to put in some herbes de Provence, which is basically just some oregano, some thyme, some majoram. You can buy it all together, or either you can make your own. So now my butter has melted into my chicken broth. It's bubbling, it's all excited, it needs a little thickener. So I'm gonna add in my cornstarch now. And this is just basically a couple of teaspoons.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hi, honey, how are you?
I'm good, how you doing?
Good. I'm making one of your favorites, some lemon chicken breast with garlic spinach orzo.
Right.
I could use some help. Wanna give me some help?
Do?
All right, I'm gonna get you to saute the baby spinach, but right now I'm just gonna thicken up this sauce. I just put in 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I mixed it with water. And you know, you can't add it until it starts to bubble, because that's what's gonna be the thickening agent for this. So now I wanna season this up a little bit. So I'm gonna start to add in all of my seasonings. It's nice and getting all nice and thick.
Yeah.
And it smells wonderful. Smell like garlic and everything. So what's going on? How was your day?
Man, it was just one of those days. Glad I'm home.
Good, I'm glad you're home too, because I'm making you a really ready a really great dinner tonight.
Yes, it smells good.
And I decided on orzo, babe, instead of like penne or linguine or something like that. I mean, I love all of those, but you know, orzo, the thing I love about orzo is it's the same shape as rice, even though it's a pasta, but it's so much lighter. And this dish, because the chicken breast is, you know, a little bit, it's a thin breast, it's not a thick breast, but the chicken holds its own. I wanted it to go over something a little lighter than a heavy pasta. So I'm just gonna squeeze in some fresh lemon, babe.
Right.
I don't like using reconstituted. It's fine for other things, but not for this. So I'm actually gonna squeeze in 2 fresh lemons, and then I'm gonna put, doesn't it?
Yes.
Can you smell that? Doesn't it?
The aroma is outstanding.
And look how pretty that chicken came out.
I see. Yeah, it's got nice color to it and everything.
Okay, so I got all the juice out of there.
Blending good with that glaze.
I'm going to put the chicken in, and I'm going to get you to do the baby spinach.
All right.
Okay, so let me just put this in, because you know you want them to go back in and simmer for a few minutes, not long, maybe like 10 minutes, but you want it to all the flavors to blend together. The flavors from the chicken.
Yeah, that looks yummy.
You want all.
Can't wait.
And so now I'm gonna give you your opportunity because you make the
I'll
best.
take that.
Okay, thanks, honey. I just needed those tongs back. So I already boiled the baby. Boiled the orzo.
Got that going.
Okay, so you can do what you normally
Right.
do. I'll switch places with you.
Let me take these glasses off here, and let's see, get the.
Let me get you a nice wood spoon.
Man, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a little bit of grapeseed oil, put it down in the pan, get that heated up real good. All right, so I got my, my oil heating up. Everything's already heated up, so I'm gonna drop my spinach down in there.
Ooh. Oh
Turn
yeah.
it around a little bit.
Here, let me.
I got a couple of days in the kitchen.
All right.
Got some skilly
I know you do.
Got that.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Listen.
There we go. So it's sounding really good. We don't want it to get too slimy. You know, we want to have a good consistency with the spinach.
I'll take that for
So
you,
I'm gonna
darling.
stir that around real good. Get it all folded up good. Now I'm gonna start adding my seasonings. Drop a little pepper in there.
We like to season up our spinach even before we add it to the pasta, because we have this running joke about how if you don't season up your baby spinach when you're sauteing it, that you feel like you just got some leaves off the bushes out front,
It
and
tastes like dirt.
so we like to,
don't want
you
that.
know, make sure it's triple washed and
So
all that good stuff.
stir that around. Oh, look at that. Look at that, babe.
It smells so good.
Okay, so our spinach is all done. It's cooked. And we're gonna drop some butter down in there.
Okay, and I have our orzo. It's all cooked and it's nice and light and fluffy. So what you want to do is you don't want it to clump together. Treat orzo like rice. So you want to rinse it off. And what I like to do to keep it from sticking to each other, as soon as I rinse it off, I just put a little olive oil in there to keep it all separated. But you see how it's nice and light and fluffy?
Nice and loose.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna drop that in your.
That into the sauteed spinach.
Look at that. You
Yeah,
see, everything
yeah.
is all
It's
nice
coming
and
together.
nice and light and fluffy. And we used about 10 cups of baby spinach because, you know, it just shrinks up. You can start stirring that in. You want to take this? I'll switch with you.
Switch there. We're gonna fold that over.
See how much we have there.
And once I get everything folded and the butter melts real good, then I can go ahead and start adding those other seasonings.
And we're just going to season it up with like a little bit of oregano, some garlic, a little bit of, the pasta is already salted, so don't add any salt before you taste it. Like you really want to make sure you salt your water well, and the orzo has been salted well. In addition to, if your butter is salted, you definitely want to check because you don't want to end up with a very salty dish, okay? So you can go ahead, babe, and
I'm
throw
gonna
your
start
seasonings
throwing
in
some
there.
Seasonings in there.
And our chicken is
A
marinating.
little pepper, a little garlic. So you have good flavor. Yeah.
That smells so good.
Throw a little tinge of salt in there. We don't make it too salty because it's already, like we said,
Yeah.
pasta's already cooked with salt. So that's my Italian seasonings. Yeah, oregano and stuff. And then I'm gonna fold that up real good. And then once I do that, it's gonna be done.
And I'm just gonna pour some olive oil in there
Oh, yeah.
to get it nice and lubricated and give it that extra flavor.
Yes,
So
yes.
you wanna stir that in really well. Oh wow, that's perfect. That looks so good.
Yes.
So our garlic spinach orzo is ready, babe. I'm gonna get this
yummy.
plating. Can you grab that ciabatta bread out of the oven for me and just slice it up? And I'm gonna place the lemon chicken, a nice slice right in the middle. Let me use the tongs and then I'll lift the gravy and put that right on top. Give you a little extra glaze.
Get that bread going. Cut up real
And
good.
that's one for me and one for you.
Right.
Okay, so everything is now plated. We can take that bread over to the table. Let's eat. Let's eat.
Do it. Let's do it.
All right, honey, let's
See
eat.
what we're working with here. All right.
Tell me how you like it.
That's really good.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, let me try mine. You remember the first time that you said you were going to cook me dinner? I have a confession. I was so scared because I hate bad food.
Yeah, you know, my thing was, I was like, you know, I just want to impress her. I didn't want to be corny. So, you know, I made the, you know, fried some fish and made like a garlic pasta linguine with a salad. Remember that?
It was so good.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I wasn't going to tell her that I used to live in Italy and that I learned a lot of the, you know, tricks of cooking pasta and things like that. So, you know, that was a fun time.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. But the food was really good. I was so relieved. I was like, Lord, please, if this food is bad, I'm going to do like I used to do when I was a little girl and my grandmother would give me something I didn't like. And my grandfather would sit at the table. He would never say a word, but he would see me just drop a spoonful in my napkin. I would go over to the window and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do that with
But
you,
you know,
honey.
like I said, you know, I was like, you know, I gotta bring my A game because it was about 30 years since I've seen her. And, you know, I've been looking for her for 30 years, and I finally found her. So I had to bring my A game. 'Cause,
You did, you
we got,
did.
you know how we got that thing when we say B? We didn't want that. We didn't want the B, right? We wanted the A.
Right. I had such a great time with my very special guest today, my husband, Martin. We made lemon chicken with garlic spinach orzo. It came out absolutely delicious. We sat around the table laughing and reminiscing about the first time that Martin cooked me dinner. We had such a wonderful evening. So I encourage you to invite somebody over to your dinner table, whether it's your neighbor, your family, your friend. It's such a good way to bond and get to know somebody. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Lisa. On Today is Food at Home.